Hello and welcome to Direct Approach, the brand new all singing, all dancing podcast from our good selves here at HS Direct. My name's Ben and I'm joined with my colleague and co-host Ian.
Hello everyone.
So this is our brand new pod where we'll be talking about pretty much everything and anything to do with compliance across all the different sectors, if it's health and safety, employment law, and yeah, we'll be getting a few experts and industry leaders along the way for a few chats.
We will. So the idea is it'll be a podcast that's light-hearted, it's informal, and we'll hopefully get a bit of information across to you guys from our world that'll help you guys in the long term and make things better for you.
So yeah, I mean, I guess a bit more about us really. That explains what the pod's going to be like. But if you're thinking, who on earth are HS Direct? Ian, you're our longest suffering serving employee here. How would you sort of sum up us at HS Direct for someone that's never heard of us before?
So as a company, HS Direct was set up to help out companies when it comes to compliance. The idea being that it was more for the smaller company who maybe find that because of the work that they do and because of circumstance don't have the relevant qualifications, experience to get involved with health and safety, HR and similar.
Yeah.
And we found that it shouldn't really be a barrier to a company that just because you haven't got a big budget like a big company that you can't have access to competent advice when it comes to areas of compliance, basically.
I mean, yeah, it really does like focus on, I guess, sort of the sort of smaller, smaller companies that we're. I mean, what sort of clients and sectors and trades do we help then?
So the service we provide can be accessible to anyone really, but we do specialise in smaller companies, as I mentioned earlier, really. So from the start all the way through till now, really, our bread and butter, our area are smaller companies, maybe with a handful of staff up to 10, 15, 20 staff, subcontractors, etc. Like I say, those sorts of people don't have the experience and qualification to do it themselves. Bigger companies with a bigger budget will likely have somebody employed directly that they pay a wage to that's health and safety qualified, that say smaller companies just it isn't feasible for them to do that. So we aim for the companies like that basically who can come to us, know they can get the documentation, the experience, the qualifications, the advice, everything that they need, and basically having a friendly face at the end of the phone when they do so.
Yeah, I mean, as well, like obviously you mentioned about getting the docs and the advice in place. I guess if they're sat there going, oh, how can you help me? What do we actually sort of provide these clients with?
Yeah, so it's a broad sort of brush approach that we have to looking after the health and safety and the HR and all the other areas of compliance, really. So it's an online portal for the most part that we provide. So for our core areas that we help people with, the documentation side of things and all the rest is through this portal. So it's health and safety, so your documents, your risk assessments, etc., your HR, so employment contracts. We provide online training, and we even provide a service that most people don't, which is to help you to manage your subcontractors effectively as well. So they're the sort of core areas that we help out with. So for most people within our remit, if you like, are construction firms, people who are site-based firms, cleaners, gardeners, tree surgeons, engineering firms, anybody like that who feels that they've not really got enough in place, that's where we would come in and we would provide the compliance support that they need.
I mean, I think that's like the beauty of it as well. We do work with a whole different range of trades, sectors, people all over the country and that. And obviously, like what I guess really, I know a lot of people sort of might think, oh, I'm all right as I am, but what sort of issues do we, I guess, help patch for a lot of these companies in various trades?
So yeah, well, I think that the main issue that people come to us with, I suppose, or two issues, if you like, is time. So with smaller companies, most things fall on the same person or the same couple of people. So there's only so much time in a day that someone can be doing their job, whatever that might be, out on site or wherever it is, as well as then having to do the admin and paperwork side of things. So it's either them or it falls to their wife or the son or whoever it might be. And with everything else they have to do for quotes and invoicing and all the rest of it, one of the issues they have is having time to basically get the health and safety in place and do it right. And the other end of it, the issue is that people just, when they do it themselves, have no idea if they've done it right. And more often than not, they haven't. From experience of having seen some of the documentation our clients have done themselves, it ain't great. So that's the other thing, is making sure that it's done right, because it's all well and good our clients putting stuff together, but the issue they then have is they'll submit that to whoever it is they're working for, who will instantly kick it back to them and say, well, that's no good. It's not worth the paper it's written on. So that's one of the other issues. But I think, like I said, the time and making sure it's been done right is the two main issues, really, I think.
Yeah, like you said, that having that peace of mind and confidence. And, you know, in this game, it really isn't one size fits all. It has to be tailor-made, inside leg measurements, the lot.
It does, yeah.
And But we don't just like, I mean, a lot of people think, oh, I might have that, but we're not just about like patching holes and keeping your head above the water in terms of that, are we? Though, really?
No, no. So there's other areas we help with. So like I say, they're the main areas, but the other areas I think a lot of people don't realise we can help with. There's things like accreditations, for example. So
Yeah,
a lot of people listening to this will have heard of CHAS, Safe Contractor, SMAS, Construction Line, all the way up to ISO. They're all accreditations that we can help with and provide support with, and they're all there to basically make your company look better, look bigger, and to get you onto jobs that you maybe can't get onto now.
mm.
Or what we quite often find is another, going back to problems we find, is that clients can't get on certain jobs without having an accreditation in place, as an example. So again, that's where we would come in to make sure you can get on those jobs, basically by paying us a few £100 and we can do it for you.
Yeah, I think that's it. Just because I think a lot of people are sort of daunted about maybe getting onto these bigger and better jobs, and
Yeah,
yeah, we've got our obviously in-house team. We'll have some of these guys on in the coming weeks, and yeah, getting I guess people to make that side of the business as easy as possible and growth and that. And also, like we really do try and aim to make it sort of as personal as possible, don't we? It's not
we
just
do.
sort of leave them to it. We
Yeah,
is
yeah. It was part of the ethos of the company when it was set up many, many moons ago, was that we would be a more personable company. And unlike a lot of our competitors, where
yeah,
you're one of a hell of a lot of clients, you speak to one of 20, 30, 40 people who work there every time you ring in. The idea behind us as a company is that we want you to be able to deal with us and have that connection with us as people, not just as your health and safety guy or your HR guy. So if they want to speak to me, they can speak to me. If you want to speak to the same consultant you spoke to last time, you can speak to them. So we try and make sure that it does have that touch. As we always think that it's much better if you can work with somebody that you're speaking to regularly and that you get on with, really, and you
yeah,
trust and all the rest of it, rather than being passed around a call center or whatever it might be. It's just not the way we do it. As
yeah.
I know, for me personally, if whoever I'm dealing with, anything that I'm speaking to people about, or they're selling me essentially, I would much rather have the same person to speak to each time, which is what we do, and other people don't.
I mean, who was that client you were telling me about earlier that's like doing the full on like Gareth Bale heart celebration to you?
So a client of mine who I've met a few times in person at different conferences and events, who is a big fan of us, shall we say, and everything that we do. So, and it's great seeing stuff like that, because it's a relationship that we've built up, like I say, as a person, rather than just as somebody who's providing a service to this client of ours. And it's great just meeting them properly, and like I say, just talking to them about everything, anything really. And I'll always remember who they are, and they'll always remember who I am now.
Yeah, I think that's sort of like you said, the beauty of it as well. So I guess that pretty much sums us up. Like, don't worry, the whole pod's not just talking about us every week.
No, no,
It's
definitely not.
it's going through, I guess, sort of the industry, trends coming up, what we're finding out, a few insights. We're going to be having people on about talking about AI,
Yeah,
talking about whole thing with accreditation. So I guess with pod really, it's just going to be touching on everything and anything in the construction and other sectors.
yeah, that's it. The idea behind it is going to be that, like I say, you're not going to have to sit and listen to me and Ben just talk to each other back and forth all the time. That we will have people come on, whether it's people from here and their experiences, people like yourselves, clients of ours, potential clients of ours, all that sort of stuff, people who are in the real world situation. And we don't want it to just be a stuffy sort of corporate talking
No,
backwards and forwards about how great health and safety is. We want to give you an eye into our world and what you guys can benefit from what we do, but more importantly, just how you guys can do what you need to do. Make sure you're safe, make sure you're compliant, and you're ticking all the right boxes, but try and do so in a more light-hearted way, shall we say?
yeah, I think that's it. I think it's sort of to carry on that we mentioned having that personal touch and rather
Yeah,
making it a bit
yeah,
straight laced and stuff here, just being a bit more, you know, sat down here with a pair of trainers and an Oasis shirt on, innit?
yeah,
So
basically.
yeah, I was trying to get pints involved, but it fell through at the last minute,
No,
unfortunately.
unfortunately, the bottle of whiskey's already been drunk, so we can't use that.
Shambles. Yeah, I think obviously we're going to try and make this a sort of as interactive and engaging. So in the coming weeks, we will be having sort of live questions that you can send in. We're also going to be looking to perhaps get some of you guys on as well.
Yeah, it'd be great.
If you're a client with us now, long, short term, maybe if you're not and you just got a bit of a story to tell about the industry. And yeah, let us know. Obviously, I mean, where can they find us, Ian?
So you can find us in various places, but you can get us our website, hsdirect.co.uk. You can email in at sales@hsdirect.co.uk, or you can give us a call, 0114 244 4461, and we'll be happy to help. And going back to what Ben was saying, if any of you guys who want to come on here and just share your experiences, it doesn't even have to be about your experience of using us, just your experience of your job and your industry,
Yeah.
and how health and safety or HR or whatever's affected you, be it positively or negatively, really. just like I say, share those experiences and help other people out. Really,
I mean, I'd see it as coming on the pod as free advertising, to be fair.
it is.
So I
Yeah.
see it that way. Keep me, form an orderly queue. But yeah, like you said, any sort of topics or questions you guys have got, anything you want us to talk about, maybe anything like you want to talk about yourselves, by all means, send it in. And yeah, keep your eyes and ears open for the subsequent episodes. And I guess, yeah, welcome to the Direct Approach Pod.